How to wisely start trading futures. That's what I want to go through. 4 steps in this video. Keyword there being wisely. And later on in the video, I'm going to show you a couple neat little tricks that you can do, which will put you in the best possible spot to find success. There are not many guarantees in the market that you can make, but I'm going to make a guarantee here. If you do those tricks, you are 100% putting yourself in the best possible spot to succeed. So why would you even consider futures? Well, a couple of key reasons being, 1, flexibility, 2, capital. I get it when you're a beginner, or maybe you just don't want to risk a lot of your own money, which I'll get to later on. But capital, if you don't have a lot or you're not willing to risk a lot, well then futures can allow you to accomplish both of those things, which is always nice. Second, flexibility. I get it. A lot of people have jobs, they can't do whatever they want when they want. But futures are essentially open all the time. Now they're not open on Saturdays, but for argument's sake, they're open basically around the clock. So there's a whole lot of opportunity. And then the biggest driving force that I've seen over the years is there is no pattern day trading rule. Now, I don't know how new you are, so maybe that doesn't mean anything to you. So in a summary, the pattern day trading rule just means that you're not allowed to trade as much as you want. I know, wait, what did you say? But that's what it is. You're essentially at the core, not allowed to trade as much as you want. But in the futures market, that rule does not exist. Therefore, you can trade as much as you want. So hearing that, I hope that has you saying, let's go! So step number 1, very anticlimactic, but well, let's first learn what futures are. And I don't want to give just broad directions. I want to give you solutions to each one of these steps. So I do offer a totally free 4-part series where I will walk you through futures and give you a good foundation to which you can build from. I'll put the link down below in the description box. And a big warning regarding futures. Now this does apply to anything in the markets, but even more so to futures. If you're not careful, futures will eat your lunch just like that. There we go. That was a little bit stronger one. Will eat your lunch just like that. And well, that's why risk management is such an important thing. Take notice, I didn't say, oh, it's all about winning. No. It's about risk management. It's about behaviors that you have. So you've got to learn how to manage risk, or said another way, you need a strategy that fits you. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm not you, you are not me, and we all have different risk tolerances. You may say fun is going skydiving. I may say fun is reading a book by the fire. Neither of us are wrong. We just have different risk tolerances. This is exactly why if you're gonna go out there and search for strategies, meaning, oh look, that person makes a bunch of money and they said that I can trade like them and I'm gonna make a bunch of money. Now, take note, I'm not saying that that person is not successful, is not making money. What I am saying is you are not them, they are not you. So you have no idea if that is actually gonna work for you. In other words, if you are out there searching and seeking other people's strategies, you're looking to buy a system.
Lordy, that would be really bad.
You're gonna find yourself in pain. Now, before I reveal step number 2, even if it upsets you, please just watch the other 2 steps because it's still very, very relevant. So I know what I'm about to reveal in step number 2 just really makes some people upset. But again, if it makes you upset, just bite your tongue and watch the next steps because they are still very, very relevant and they will be very helpful to you. So yes, step number 2 is you gotta learn how to trade. You've gotta learn how to manage risk and build a system that best fits your personal risk tolerance. And that is where I'd recommend checking out my training course called the Trading Freedom Pathway Program. And it'll walk you through and has a bunch of content, all sorts of things geared around you finding and building a strategy that works best for you. Let me be very clear about this though. If you sign up, I am not selling you a magical system. I'm not selling you a one-size-fits-all strategy. No, the core goal is, hey, you got to do the work. I can show you the tools. I can help guide you. I can provide some guardrails for you and all of that. But at the end of the day, I have no magic pill. You can't sit there and be like, well, Clay, just teach me exactly how you trade. No, again, we're different people. But what I can do is assist you in building a strategy that's going to best fit your needs. Well, geez, that sounds like a lot of work. Like, I just want to be spoon-fed. Sorry, trading is a lot of work, and the program, you will still definitely have to work hard with the program, but I've been, doing this for 10 years now. I have many successful students. So like I said, consider that. I'll put a link down below. But even if you don't, like, no, Clay, I refuse to buy anything, totally fine. At least maybe hit the like button for this video. But anyways, that doesn't take away from the step number 2. You better go out there, learn how to build a strategy for yourself and manage risk. Now this is where things that it's not complicated, but before we can actually do step number 3, we need to hop over to step number 4 and do a couple of considerations. Step number 4 is a prop firm broker. And at the core, just because I don't want to go too far outside the scope of this video, but a prop firm allows you to risk very minimal of your own capital. So way at the beginning I mentioned, one of the great things about futures is if you just don't want to risk your capital, there are ways around that. And that's where a prop firm trader comes in. So very minimal of your capital is on the line, yet the upside is very, very, very attractive. So that's what a prop firm is at its most basic sense. I want to walk you through and show you the prop firm that I'm using. And then there's a couple of key numbers, key questions that we need to keep an eye on, and just a couple points of understanding. Now, the prop firm that I use is Take Profit Trader, which is what I'm going to assume and tell you to use just for simplicity's sake so that we can keep this video moving, or else it's going to be filled with a bunch of, well, it depends on this or it depends on that. No, just use this one and keep your eye on these numbers. So let's scroll down, and there's going to be the key dynamic here. So the first thing that needs to be understood is there is a difference between purchasing power, and that's what you're doing. You're paying for purchasing power. Those are the various choices that you can get in purchasing power, and then there are costs associated with buying that purchasing power. So if you want to buy $25,000 worth of purchasing power, $150. Now I should note about all these numbers, definitely use the link down below because they're always running promotions. But I'm just not going to assume any promotions, and we'll just take these numbers at face value. But definitely make sure you use that link to take advantage of any promotion that is being run. Or for example here, $170 a month gives you $50,000 worth of purchasing power. Now that sounds a bit too good to be true, and because it is. Now let me be very clear. Do you have $50,000 worth of purchasing power? Yes. But is that actually a bad thing? Yes. And that's why you need to focus on a couple of key numbers so that when we go back to step number 3, you're forcing yourself to behave in the right way. So for example's sake, let's just look at the $50,000 account, and the number that you must understand, and we'll be using that in a second, is what's known as a trailing drawdown. In other words, $2,000, that's the amount you're actually able to lose. So in other words, if this is $50,000, and you lose more than, and your account balance goes below 48, right? 50 minus 2,000 is 48. So if your account balance goes a penny below 48,000, then this account is gone. They remove it from you. You no longer have access to it. So the $2,000 is the amount that you can actually lose. So please do not think, oh, I signed up for a $50,000 account. That means I can lose $50,000 because at that point, that would mean the account is gone. That is not how it's working. You have $50,000 of purchasing power, but the most you could allow that account balance to drop to is $48,000. If it goes a penny below, you have failed. You will no longer have access to that account. And then the other thing that you'll want to keep an eye on is the daily loss limit, meaning you are only able to lose $1,100 in a day. Both of these things though, fantastic from a risk management perspective. They're going to force you to build good habits. So before going to step number 3, real quick, you've got to figure out what account size are you going to actually purchase? How much purchasing power do you want? And then with that, you've got to figure out that drawdown amount. It could be 2,000, it could be 3,000. It's going to vary depending on the size of the account, but you've got to figure out that number. And now we're on step number 3, which is to sign up for Webull as a platform, and to definitely use the link down below because they're always running promotions. This is the one they currently have, but they're usually giving away money or they're giving away free stock if you sign up for them. And this is the cool part because a lot of other brokers, they do offer simulator trading, demo trading, paper trading platforms. Those are all the same thing, just different words. But what I've seen is a lot of them will put a time limit. Well, you can use our simulator for 2 weeks or what have you. But here with Webull, there is no time limit. There is no cost. In fact, you're being paid to practice. You're being paid to learn. And depending on the promotion, who knows, you could take that money and then use it to purchase that account, which I just showed you with the prop firms. So in my mind, it makes total sense to use Webull, to have no pressure of time, but also to get paid instead of paying to do some practicing. So after you sign up and get their platform downloaded, you'll be looking at something very similar to this. And once again, make sure you use that link because that will ensure you take advantage of whatever promotion they're offering. And that's a big part of this. We want to get paid to practice. So once you get the platform, what you're gonna do is come up here and you're gonna need to click on that right there. And they make things very easy for you. You can come down and click on futures. And then after you've clicked on futures, I should note real quick, I get it right now. You're probably like, I'm never gonna be able to learn this. Look how complicated that is. And I can only speak for myself, but what I can say is if you do the steps as I've outlined them, step number 1, take that 4-part series. Step number 2, go through my training program. What you see there will not be overwhelming. You're not gonna be like, I don't know what I'm looking at. No. You'll be just fine. And the next part is you're gonna wanna come over here to the these dots are, click on that, and then come down here, or excuse me, right there, click on paper trading. And now we are at a paper trading, the paper trading platform. And if you take nothing else away from this video, please remember this trick. At the beginning, I mentioned, a little trick that will put you in a great spot, and I made a guarantee. This is it right now. This is the trick. So right here, you notice $1 million of purchasing power. Now, a lot of people are gonna say, okay, Clay, well, you're gonna tell us to change that to 50,000, right? Because if we're gonna be purchasing a $50,000 account or what have you, we should change that number to that amount. But hopefully you're saying, well, no, that's actually incorrect, Clay, because the amount we need to focus on is the amount we can actually lose. Because if we lose that amount, that means for all practical purposes, our account is gone at the prop firm. Exactly. So remember that 50,000 account, we had the drawdown of $2,000. So we need to come in here, press reset, and we need to turn that into whatever the amount is for your trail down. In this situation, the $2,000. So that means now our account is $2,000. We have to behave in a way when we're doing this practice trading that does not allow us to lose $2,000, or else we've totally failed in the paper trading account. We've totally failed practicing because we've lost $2,000. And I'm with you. Acting as though you have a $50,000 account is pretty great, but you don't. You only have a $2,000 account, but you have $50,000 worth of purchasing power. So when you look at that, and that's a trick, look at the drawdown amount as your actual account size. And you've got to be able to parse those two things out, and a lot of people don't. They don't parse out the purchasing power from the amount drawdown, and then when they go from practicing to these real life and prop firms, they get absolutely destroyed and they're left just kind of...
I blacked out. I have no idea what happened.
And truly just being confused. But if you start right here by forcing yourself in step 3 to just behave as though you only have a $2,000 account, when you transition into step number 4 and start trading with a prop firm, it's not gonna be different. You're gonna be used to trading, you're gonna be used to behaving as if you only have $2,000 because that is what you have. Yes, you have $50,000 of purchasing power, but you can only have $2,000 to lose, or else that's the equivalent of losing $2,000 as just exploding the entire $50,000. So that's a very, very important thing that you need to focus on, and the change that you need to make during your practice phase in step number 3. So I hope all this helps. Again, to reiterate, step number 1, you just got to learn futures, right? So take that 4-part series. Step number 2, you better learn how to manage risk and build a strategy that fits your personal risk tolerance. I'd love to have you join my program. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so I am confident in it. But even if you don't, okay, you still got to go out there and learn how to build a strategy that best fits you. Step number 3, you've got to be able to practice the right way. And practice the right way is behaving as though you only have whatever that drawdown amount is. So don't practice like you have 50,000, practice as though you only have 2,000, because when you get to step number 4, that's the reality of the matter. That's not how they present it, but that is nonetheless the reality of the matter. So I hope this helps. If there's any questions, please leave those down in the comment section. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you enjoyed this, and no, Clay, I'm not gonna buy anything from you, totally fine. Could you at least hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the content, and hit the like button? That really goes a long way. So I hope this helps. I hope this has you very curious in futures trading. I'd be, like I said, happy to answer any questions you have down in the comment section. So leave those down below. And yeah, get out there and consider doing some futures trading. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.